Hi guys, and welcome back to the channel. Before we get started, I just want to say a big thank you to all the friends of the channel, anybody who's supported me in the past, commented, liked the videos and subscribed. It's greatly appreciated as always. To any new friends of the channel, please stick around. Hope you enjoy the video, and if you would, please press that sub button. We don't ask for anything else on this channel. But yeah, moving on swiftly. From my last video, I really appreciate everybody's feedback on that, just regarding the next bench project. For those of you who didn't see it, at the weekend, I just finished that 70 Roadrunner or 70 Satellites, and I was having a couple of days off, but away from the bench. But in the meantime, I was just thinking about what's gonna hit the bench next. Just laid out a few options for you guys, and it seemed right from the beginning that the old MPC 72 Dodge Sportsman was a very popular choice. It was one which got requested the most. I've got to give an honourable mention to that little Renault. That Record Kits Renault, that was a lot of people seem to like that one, and it will get done. Don't worry. I just wanted to see what you thought for the next one, and in all fairness, I'm really glad you chose this one. This has nearly hit the bench a few times. I just want sure that but the idea of the airport shuttle bus would go down too well, but people seem to like that. I mean, I'm sure we'll add little bits and pieces to sort of tie it into that, but yeah, I mean, it was and another thing, it's going to be another blue and white one. So you've seen a lot of blues on my builds, but that's just the way it is. Blue's a nice colour, and it seems to suit a lot of stuff. So so we'll do it in a nice period blue and white, this one. And like I said, we mentioned in the last video that me whole idea I've had for this one for a few years now has been to build it in to really date the model, and we could just build it factory stock, but I want it to look like it was kind of built in the 70s, and the influences around that time. So we went with the idea we're going to do is we're going to do the airport minibus, shuttle bus, and see what details we can work into it. I mean, I've been buying decals up, airplane decals for a while. I think this is my miscellaneous folder, and so I got a few sheets of the old Pan Am stuff. I think all these ones are just too big for use on this particular model. Maybe if it was a full size van, we'd be able to use the bigger Pan Am decals. And I picked up a few different kinds over the years. I thought I always fancied doing a few airport vans and stuff like that. So we got the AA Airlines there, American Airlines. I also fancied doing a bit of a DHL delivery van at some point. So this was I mean, these were all bought in multiple lots. I've not bought kits just to poach these out of it, so that would be a ridiculously expensive way to do it. But every now and again you see little lots come up. So I think this was probably the Minicraft set is probably the best ones for the big round decals if we decide to use them. Now, these were the first decals I ever bought, and I bought them very quickly when I saw them on eBay, and it wasn't until I sort of pressed buy two that I realised that they were for 1/64th Matchbox things. I think the black square, these ones, I think he does a lot of decals for your die-cast restorations and what have you, and I was it was my fault, so he hadn't sent them before, and I could have messaged him straight after, but it's my fault for misreading, and they weren't expensive. I think £5 for two sets. But because they're from the little 1/64th newer style Greyhound bus, they are quite a big decal anyway. So yeah, I think they're perfect for 120/50s, and I think I'm going to try and match that colour or match something towards that colour for the blues on here and what have you. But yeah, so I mean, I really need to get through these. If you don't store your decals in a photo album, I'd highly recommend it. I used to have bags of decals, and try to separate them in separate bags for what they were. But you could not use, or you never wanted to go through them because they're just such a pain to start searching through if you're just looking for little decals and number plates and what have you. You're rummaging through bags of 100 decals cut, and I need to get rid of some of these airline ones. I'm not interested in a lot of these, but I've said it, like I say, these I've filled up 3 folders by now. I mean, I don't even know what's in half of them, but when you're searching for decals, it just makes it a lot easier to find them. And to be quite honest, I really don't know what's in this one. I haven't looked in this one. I only found this the other day, so but it looks like I've got a lot of aftermarket stuff in there. Sorry, I'm just getting so I mean, it seems like there's a lot of stuff in, but completely going off subject there. But yeah, great way to store your decals. But yeah, back to the model. I think I've given you an idea of the route we're going down. I think we had a look at it in the last video, but yeah, it wasn't. It was just a quick round robin. We'll start looking at it in a bit more detail. I mean, the body hasn't been painted, so it doesn't need stripping, which is going to be nice and easy. I think we'll just see how easy these come off with just sticking some masking tape over and ripping them off. I think the only bit of glue damage really on the whole model is where they've had a light stuck in there. But yeah, we'll sand all that out and try and make it as nice as we can do. But I think my plan is to get a roof rack on here. We'll do a long roof rack on this, and I mean, we'll probably only do it to sort of that length somewhere. And but I've got a few ideas for that. We've got a bit of glue on top of the roof where a light bar's been glued on, and I think these areas are the only 2 areas which might cause a bit of an issue, just because they're right on the trim line, and looks like they've had mirrors glued in either side. But I've dealt with a lot worse than that, so that's very minor. I think once I take it all apart, I'll either just sand this, lightly sand it. It looks like because there's no overspray on the sides and the roof, but not on the glass. So I'm assuming whoever started building this just maybe tried the first run with the aerosol, saw it wasn't working out at all, and luckily for us stopped at that point, but just kept on carrying on building the vehicle. But yeah, it's got all I don't think it's missing anything, to be quite fair with you. I'm not going into accessories or anything like that, but you've got the 2 rear lights in nice shape, and the grill's in nice shape. I don't think I'm going to even re-chrome it. It's not worn on the edges. It's just going a little bit flat, which I think looks good. And I'm going to end up painting this little bar in here anyway as in body colour. Separate it up a little bit, and we'll blackwash the grille. But it's better not to. I mean, now I don't have to re-chrome it. It'll be easy just to get some tape in there and mass it up and paint it. Rear bumper isn't too bad. I mean, I think it looks a bit worn on the top, but I think it's just more more build up of dust over the years. I mean, I keep all these in bags, but yeah, it's been stored previously, and yeah. So I think what I'll do with that is I might just try getting a bit of G3 wax and gently wax, seeing if it'll clean off before I strip it. I mean, I'll do it on the car just so I'm not handling the bumper too much. And so yeah, I mean, I think look, I was looking at this. I mean, we're on Wednesday afternoon now, and yeah, Wednesday afternoon, and I said I'd sort of count the votes sort of Wednesday afternoon, Wednesday evening, but you know, it's so much of a landslide on this people wanting to see this done, but you know, I'm just going to start it this afternoon, and at least so I can get the video out Wednesday this evening. So, but yeah, now I started looking at it last night, and I think this is the kit which is going to involve the most bare metal foil. I kind of overlooked it the other day when we were first started on the bench, but yeah, we've got to foil all these windows around here. I mean, I'll probably, and this one doesn't have any window trimmings. I'll either have to build a frame in there just so I can get a uniform window trim all the way across, or we'll just see if the bare metal foil sticks to it and I can create the curve without putting a window trim in. But yeah, we'll put one strip in, top and bottom, and then just do all the strips downwards, and I'll probably just cut it all at once. But yeah, we'll get the screen done, the rear glass trim done. Yeah, I think the top's going to be blue, whatever colour blue we choose, up to this belt line here, which will go all the way around the top of the hood. And then there's another trim line here which has to be chrome foiled, so we'll chrome foil that, and yeah, I think and so the blue's just going to run up to this edge on the front wing, or the centre section, and the full front wing is going to be white. Full front fender is going to be white. So I think we're not going to scribe the doors on these. You know, they're a bit of a weird opening on these. They seem quite wide. So I think if I scribe him there, I think it's just going to be scribing out the centre of it all, and I think I'm just going to end up messing it up, to be quite honest. Not messing it up, but they're deep enough there. We're not doing much body work on this at all. You know, it's going to be a coat of primer and a couple of coats of white. Then on the tops we'll have the blue colour. But I think they're pronounced. I don't think we're going to lose that, to be quite honest with you. I don't think we're going to lose the door edges, and with it being a two-tone, I very much may have to, even though I don't like blackwashing door lines, I'll see how that line breaks up on that little cortina. Right, to freehand just a white stripe, because it just looks so out of place, not being blackwashed. But yeah, I mean, I think you know, it looks like a pretty clean builder, like I say. I think there's something definitely going on with this chassis. I'm a little bit concerned about. I mean, it looks okay from the surface, but it looks warped on this side, to be fair. I think it's been glued in too far forward. But it's been, I mean, I've tried breaking it loose gently, and it's definitely stuck in there. So yeah, I think I think she don't look bad on the outside, but she's a bit of a dirty girl on the inside, to be quite fair. I think that's going to uncover some issues. But yeah, like I say, the front suspension's well out. The chassis is sitting far too low. So yeah, I mean, you push that suspension up and it kind of levels out the ride height. Wheels wise, not too sure what I'm gonna do with these, even though these are like 1 year only and correct for this model. I think they look a little bit toyish, even if I toyish and small, so not too sure whether I'm going to use these. I mean, if I don't use them, what I generally do, if they're for a rare kit like this, I'll probably restore them anyway and just put them in a bag. So if I ever sell the kit in later years, or if they're still here after I've gone and somebody else has to deal with them, then I'll just keep them with the kit just so they can be sold alongside it. I'm kind of thinking steel wheels with poverty caps is probably what I'd like to do on this, maybe with a thin white band on it, but make it look like a bit of a classy van, like, even though it's just going to be an airport bus. It's but yeah, I mean, there's what we'll do is we'll get it all stripped, and the sides of the vans are, I think the way this, there's something going on with interior tub as well, and I think over time it's just stressed out the sides of the vans, but they've got really chunky frame posts here, so I think once we glue it all together again and realign that chassis, what we'll do is we'll super glue it to the sides of them big frame rails, and that'll tuck the sides of the van back in, give us that nice contour back again. But yeah, I think what we'll do is we'll get this stripped down and see what we're doing next on it. See what we're dealing with. I'll try. What I'll do is I'll strip it down now. I don't want to start off another video with just stripping it down and then having to do another video. So for the sake of an extra 10 minutes, we might as well see what we're working with all in this video, and then I can just crack on and don't have to worry about filming stuff until I've actually made some real progress on it. So, but yeah, thank you all for choosing that. We'll start tearing it down. We'll see you in the next clip. Right then, well, that's it all taken apart now. It has been a bit of a nightmare, to be quite honest with you, getting this thing apart. As suspected, it was really, really heavily glued. I wouldn't just say heavily glued. It was, everything was absolutely bonded together. All the plastic was melted together inside and what have you. So, yeah, it's caused a few issues, but that's what you get for working with old kits, like. So, yeah, we'll got everything out of the body. I just used masking tape and what have you just to take all them decals off and what have you. But yeah, I mean, it's no different from before, really. Bits of damage here and there where the bumpers were melted on and what have you, but we managed to get the tail lights out, but I think we lost the lens on the way, unfortunately. But they would, like I say, it was that one, and then you can see how heavily glued it was in there, and I couldn't have masked it off, to be quite honest. I could have left it in there and masked it off, but one of them came out okay, so I thought the other one would. But yeah, of course, the second one was really difficult. But yeah, I mean, we looked at the body quite a lot in the last clips. Yeah, I got the glass out. Glass wasn't too bad at all, to be fair. I mean, it was heavily glued in there, but I managed to get in there with my trusty kitchen knife and just prise it out slowly along, so it's not caused any cracks or damage or anything, and we got that out pretty cleanly. Same with the front glass. So they just need a polish up and what have you. Interior was by far the worst. Absolute nightmare, to be quite fair. Like I say, these were just all fused together, the interior tub, these and the seats as well, and I think the construction of them, they had two little slots in here, so the top of the post would stick inside the slots in here, and I tried getting it from the bottom, from the top, it just wouldn't come out, so I ended up just busting them out, which broke quite a lot of these. Some of the seat supports. In fact, it broke all the seat supports. So we'd spent the last hour I could have made them with paper clips, to be quite fair, but because there was bits still stuck to the bottom, fused to the bottom, like half of it was fused to the seats and half of it was fused to the interior tub, and whatever broke off in between. So yeah, we just spent an hour carefully re-gluing all these. I can paint them inside the interior tub. I did think of leaving the seats in, but the problem that caused is, I do want to make a nice go of this interior and all this panel work here. I just couldn't get behind it properly if the seats were still in there. So yeah, something had to give, unfortunately, and that was all these stays. But I think we've managed to salvage them to a point where I'm just going to let the glue dry overnight. I've first secured them with super glue, and then I've gone all around it with Humbrol cement, just so it starts fusing everything back together. And then I'll just go in tomorrow and sand the tops down, see if I can get them all level on the tops without them snapping. Dashboard, I've given up trying to get out. That's going to get painted in. I think it just started chipping off edges of the interior tubs. Apology, I'm not really getting the thing to focus properly, but yeah, it broke off the side and it is absolutely welded in there, so I'm not going to try anymore. I can paint the dash with it in, but I'll probably have to cut off the steering wheel at some point so I can at least get in and do some instrument cluster detail and what have you. So, but yeah, that was a lovely nightmare to deal with. Off to a good start already. Like I say, we got all the seats out, and I just used the what was left underneath there of the slats which they slot into. I just got in and I just broke them off with the Tamiya cutters. Don't really have any more time to waste on it, to be quite honest with you. Looks like some of these armrests could just do with a little bit of resetting where glued in. I mean, they're not too bad, to be fair. I think they did a pretty decent job of getting everything straight. I just noticed that one's a little bit off. The front seats came out. Some of them are still, bits of it, like I say, are still attached to the carpet. That's no problem at all. These will be the same colour of the carpet anyway, so I'm just going to paint. It'll probably be some form of two-tone interior, so we'll get it so you can't see it anyways. But the chassis started. There was I think because it being glued in the wrong position, really, it started to put a new memory into the plastic, it seems, and it's bowed down at the front, like so. We've already started straightening a little bit, but I think it just needs a bit of warm water to make it sit fully flat. I mean, we're not far off now. It's getting pretty much there, but we just got the prop shaft out and the radiator. That was glued to the chassis, and I could have left it in there, but I thought I'd just take it out so we can paint it separately. Engine, got all that out as one unit. I did leave the rear axle in the chassis because it'll be the same colour as whatever the chassis rails are. But yeah, I don't know how far I'm going to take tearing this engine down. I might just paint it as it is, clean up all the glue. But this transmission, it's got a bit of a gap in it here and there. So yeah, we're going to definitely have to do something. I just don't know how far I'm going to strip it down. Generally, I build up engines pretty much to that level anyway before painting them. So yeah, like I say, we got the outer rings out. I don't know if I missed it before, but from me picking it up earlier on, I thought it seems like we've lost a bit of the one of the tail lamp surrounds, but we'll be able to fix that. I'm not too worried about that, to be quite honest with you. I will have one search on the in the dustpan, which I haven't chucked out, just to make sure it's not gone in there, but otherwise I've just missed it. But yeah, we got the front grille out okay, you know, that, like I say, that's in pretty good condition. Well, like I say, we'll paint the centre in body colour and just blackwash it. Really nice grill is that, so we don't need to, it's got the right level of matte on there and not as much wear, so yeah, we'll be able to reuse that. I did start wiping off while it was still on the van, I did start wiping off the top of the bumper with warm water, and that just took whatever was on, yeah, like I say, it was like a layer of silt or something like that, or just dust which is on there. And you know, if you just leave dust on your models, it will just start eating away at your chrome and what have you, and especially if you got like flies or anything like that. Yeah, I think fly droppings deteriorate, stuff like that, but it's probably just been sat out in the box with the nose in, and that's why the rest of it survived. But yeah, we got all the wheel backs off. All the wheels came out okay. I mean, they're actually a nice wheel when you take them off that van. I just don't think they suit that van. But yeah, a nice rare wheel cover. I'm just wondering what other early 70s Dodges they may have gone on. You know, something we could probably make a base model out of. I'll have to look into that, unless you guys know. Tyres are like brand new. I don't know whether we'll be using them or not, but yeah, we don't use them on this, they're certainly decent old vintage MPC tyres. I mean, like I said, they really do look like new, to be fair. So axles, we'll either have to shorten them or we won't use them at all. I don't know if you noticed in one of the other clips that, you know, once you got the wheel under the fender, the other one's sticking halfway out, the other they're just too long. I think that was probably a Friday afternoon sign off, you know, is probably I'd sit around saying, oh, these axles are a bit long, and say, well, what time's happy hour? 4 o'clock, and what time's it now? 4:45, right, that's good enough kind of thing. But I ain't too fussy, I've got loads of axles anyway if we need to use them. But yeah, I mean, I think it's pretty much gone from the easiest project to, it seems like, the hardest project out of that set of 5, but you don't know what lies beneath on the other ones, and they probably would have given me as much trouble. I mean, like I say, I mean, the reason I do these restorations is because you can get these old kits at a fraction of the price, and if you bought a mint in box one, and if you bought a mint in box one, would you really want to build it? You know, probably just pass from hand to hand, yeah, as a mint kit until somebody eventually builds it. But yeah, they're a pretty rare thing, these, and yeah, they demand quite a bit of money when they're in the box. But yeah, I mean, I'm going to close this video off now. I mean, just having a look around it and breaking it down has probably taken half an hour anyway, so of video time. So yeah, I think what we'll do next is I'll probably strip all this paint off, to be fair. I'll have a nice clean body to start with, and we're going to have to get the paint stripper out to this anyway, to be quite honest. It's all over the Dodge engraving on the back. Yeah, and I don't want anything like that surrounding the scripts. I might actually bare metal foil these scripts before I prime, or after I primed. I might try that method for a change, just because they are very intricate scripts on this. I don't know. We'll see. I mean, I'll try anything new. I've learnt a lot from seeing other guys on YouTube and what have you. So might as well put some methods to practice. I know sometimes when these are foiled before paint. You can sort of see the line of the foil through the paint, so we'll have to be careful of that if we go down that route. But yeah, I mean, I think next time you'll see this, we'll carried out a few more repairs. We'll probably, I think by next video, we'll, even if it's not in the first clip of the video, we'll have this body and primer. Most likely have the interior tub in primer by next video. You know, it is a pretty much straightforward build. I've got to find a roof rack for it, and or if I need to make one myself from scratch, and we'll just do a hunt around, find a few other bits and pieces, which I think will go with the project for the theme. I have got a few ideas rattling around my head, but you know, we'll just see how the project goes. Right, guys, I'm gonna I'll be quiet now and leave you to the rest of your evening. Thank you once again for all the support. Thank you for the votes to get this one on the bench. Like I say, I really appreciate all of that, and you know, we will see you in part two of this project. Okay, thanks ever so much, and we'll see you later. Bye.